Hi, I'm J.C. Hallman. This is the Anarcha Archive. Today, we're going to dive into the question of Anarcha's children. Let's start with an acknowledgement. Whenever you work in history or biography, you work with materials, evidence, that comes in a variety of kinds and qualities. There's direct evidence and circumstantial evidence, and there are primary and secondary source materials. So when a historian or a biographer says that something is true, what that means is that it has passed a certain threshold of possibility, but there are degrees of certainty even beyond that threshold. This is particularly true when it comes to the history of slavery and enslaved persons. And when it comes to what can be said of Anarcha's pregnancies and children, it has to be allowed that we are talking about various levels of possibility.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We'll start here. This is significantly later, the 1870 census. For now, I'll ask you to just trust me that this is Anarcha. Those connections will be established in later videos. But what we can see here is that in 1870, Anarcha had 4 children, William and Oliver, who were young boys, and Delia, who was 19, and Elizabeth, who is listed as 10. A later record indicates that this girl was slightly younger than this, probably around 7. So what we can say with a high degree of certainty is that Anarcha had a daughter named Delia who was born around 1851, which is the time period we've been looking at in the last few videos. The 2 boys and the girl, William and Oliver and Elizabeth, were born much later. Also in an earlier video, we looked at Anarcha's case record from New York City. By December 1856, she had given birth 5 times. We know that her first birth took place in mid-1845. There were 4 others between 1845 and 1856. Beyond Delia from 1851, there were 3 others that we hear nothing more about. What seems most likely is that these babies either did not survive or they were sold away. In my book, Say Anarcha, I make suggestions as to what might have happened with these children, but it has to be acknowledged that these are informed assertions, not fiction, but logical inferences. There's also a suggestion that Anarcha gave birth again around 1858, but once again, it appears that this child did not remain with her. Delia, however, remained with Anarcha, and was with her in 1870, which turns out to be right around the time Anarcha dies. So Delia stayed with Anarcha as she was taken away from Alabama, and as she was experimented on further in Richmond, as we described in the last couple of videos. All told, we can tally up from solid primary sources 10 total pregnancies for Anarcha that came to term. There were the 5 children she bore between 1845 and 1856, including Delia. There was another in 1858 who either died or was sold away. And there were 4 children fathered by Anarcha's husband Lorenzo, William, Oliver, and Elizabeth, and there was 1 additional child, a girl, born free in 1867. This child did not appear in the 1870 census, so it's unlikely that she lived beyond infancy. In the 1867 Register of Births, she is listed only as Jackson. Next time, we'll look at what happened when Anarcha left Richmond to live here at Old Mansion in Bowling Green, Virginia.
Whoa, whoa.